I've had a lot of people lately asking me how to do the carnivore diet, so I thought I'd do a video on it. My name's Tom, and this is my carnivore journey. So, one of the first things I tell people when they want to do the carnivore diet is to start with a ketogenic diet. So, the carnivore diet is a subset of the low carb, high fat diet. There are several diets within that, ketogenic being the top. Then you go down to paleo, ketovore, carnivore, lion, and so on. How you want to proceed is up to you, but I recommend the keto diet first, especially if you're coming from a highly processed diet into this. One of the reasons for that is what's called the keto flu. You can kind of reduce that a little bit if you start ketogenic first. One of the things you want to do is drink plenty of liquids. You want to have plenty of salt, but not just any salt. You don't want table salt. You're going to want Redmond's real salt or pink Himalayan salt. And if you're doing the pink Himalayan salt, make sure that you read the label to ensure it's from Pakistan. That's the only place that you're going to get pink Himalayan salt. There are other pink salts out there, so make sure it's the salt from Pakistan. Now, carnivore is basically eating anything that comes from an animal. So it can be beef, chicken, pork, fish, dairy, but I do have a caveat for dairy. A lot of people have issues with dairy and don't know it. So I recommend, usually for the first 2 weeks, not to consume any dairy. After that 2 week period, you can start adding in hard cheeses, then soft cheeses, and then some of the other dairy products. And that's kind of to see if you have a reaction to it. So if you think about carnivore, it's basically an elimination diet. So you're eliminating everything but animal products, and then you can slowly reintroduce other foods to see if any of them have a reaction with you. Um, while on the carnivore diet, you're going to want to make sure that you drink plenty of fluids and have plenty of salt. Your body is going to shed your water weight first when you go on this diet. And so for about probably 2 weeks, at least that's what it was for me, and I've talked to a lot of other people that have had the same experience. That 2 week period, you're basically going through withdrawal. So if you think about it, it's similar to a cocaine addict who goes cold turkey. You're going to have all kinds of issues, and they can be from very mild to very uncomfortable. When you're consuming processed foods that are high in refined grains and sugars, you have dopamine that's released. And it's the same brain chemical that's released when you do cocaine. So you are actually going through withdrawal when you start down the keto and carnivore path. So, you can do the things that I recommend to kind of help mitigate that a little bit, or you can just power through it. I really didn't have much. I think I had one day with a headache, and that was it. But I was already eating close to a carnivore diet, anyways. Now, people like my wife, she's more of a ketovore, so she does eat some vegetables, but it is a meat heavy diet. I'm fairly strict on my carnivore. I will occasionally have something like celery or maybe a few cucumbers, but that's about it. I try to stay with the meat and limited dairy. I have milk about once a week, but I drink raw milk. I don't drink pasteurized milk. Butter usually doesn't bother anybody, but that's up to you whether you want to uh, keep that in your diet or hold it back for a couple weeks to see if it does bother you. But typically, butter doesn't bother anybody. Um, there's a number of YouTube videos out there and some websites that can help you with menus to kind of help lessen the boringness of carnivore. For me, it's not really boring because I enjoy meat, especially a really good steak. Give me a Delmonico or a filet mignon, and I'm a happy camper. But other people like variety. So there's a lot of recipes out there that can help with that using different spices and things like that. But be careful with the spices because some people do have sensitivity to some of those. So, your 2 week time frame is going to be pretty bland. Salt and pepper, that's about it. Cook with butter. If you can get your hands on some lard or some tallow or bacon grease, you can use that as well. But be careful with olive oil. Olive oil is fine until it gets hot, and if it gets hot enough, then you start getting into contaminated oil that can cause problems. So, oxidative stress and things like that. So, olive oil is fine for like a salad or something like that. There's also a product called ghee, which is clarified butter. A lot of people have success with that have issues with butter. So if you find that you have problems with butter, try ghee and see if that works for you. You pretty much get the same flavor as butter. It's just a little bit more purified than what butter is. That's pretty much it. Just try to stay with the meat products for the first 2 weeks, limit spices, limit dairy, and then slowly reintroduce these food items back into your diet after your 2 week period. I think you're going to find that you're going to have more mental clarity. You're going to get better sleep. You're going to feel better. You're going to lose weight. Like I said, initially it's going to be water weight, and it's going to go pretty quick. And you'll know when you're done with your water weight because your weight loss will start to slow down a little bit. That's pretty normal. But you can expect, depending on your level uh, of weight that you carry around and how much processed food you've been eating, as to how fast you're going to lose that weight. Typically, you're going to see 1 to 2 pounds a week. Some people see more than that. It just really depends on you and your diet that you had prior to this. Hope this answers some questions that you've had on the carnivore diet. If I didn't cover anything that you have questions about, just leave a comment below and I'll answer it as quick as I can. If you like this video, subscribe to it, like it, help spread the word. Have a great day.